Welcome, everybody, to lesson 42. Today, we're going to be talking about appreciation and depreciation. So, when talking about financial literacy and appreciation and depreciation, we're talking about worth and what things are worth. Did they go up in value or did they go down in value? That's going to be the topic of this lesson today. So, we're going to be looking at understanding appreciation, depreciation. We're going to be calculating some amounts about simple appreciation, depreciation amounts. You're going to explain what it is, calculate changes, and maybe explain why a value might change over time. So, do you ever wonder if you buy something for $500 today, will it always be worth $500 forever? We'll see. What do these terms mean? Appreciation. When something increases in value over time. That is appreciation. It increases in value over time. Depreciation is when something decreases in value over time. Here are some common examples. So, things that usually appreciate, things that usually go up in value, are things like real estate, houses, land, or rare collectibles. So, some people have super rare collectible cards and they want to keep them because they will go up in value in the future. And things that usually depreciate, things that go down in value after over time, are things like cars, phones, electronics, clothing, and all those things have a commonality, and we'll look at that later. But these are things that lose value over time. So when we calculate change in value, we're looking at appreciation and depreciation here. To find how much something appreciated, how much something went up, we're going to take the final value and then we're going to subtract the original value. So if a house is worth $1 million today, but it was built in the 19 whatever and it was worth $100,000 when it first got made. And we're going to take the $1 million it is today, we're going to subtract that $100,000 that it was worth when it was first built, and we'll see the difference. We'll see how much it's gone up in value, how much it's appreciated. And for depreciation, we're going to flip it. We're going to take the original value and we're going to minus the final value. So something like a car. So we're going to take, maybe you have a car that's 50 years old today, or 10, maybe 10 years old today, let's say. I have a 10-year-old car. So I'm going to take my car and I'm going to say the original value of my car was maybe $60,000. But today it's worth, who knows? Let's call it 20. So I will take that original, when I first got it, it was 60 grand. I'm going to minus what it's worth today, that 20, and I'll see the difference. And that'll tell me how much it's gone down in value over time, how much it's depreciated. So some examples. A phone costs $900 and is worth $600 after 1 year of use. So the depreciation is $900, take away that's $600, and that leaves us with $300. So finding that difference of what it originally cost and then what it's worth later on, that'll tell us how much the value went down in the phone, how much is depreciated. Now we're looking at a painting and it cost $150, but it later sold for $210. So to find how much that was depreciation, to find how much it appreciated, we're going to take that $210 it sold for, and then we're going to put in that $150 it originally cost. 210 minus 150 leaves us $60. So that shows us, finding that difference shows us that the painting appreciated $60. That painting went up in value by $60. So we can make a note here. The painting appreciated / went up in value by $60. And then we will add a sentence saying the phone depreciated / went down in value by $300. So we just put into words what the numbers showed. And practice questions. So does a car usually appreciate or depreciate? Based on our lesson, the answer is depreciate. The car usually depreciates. A laptop costs $1,200, but later is worth $800. How much did it depreciate? So we have to find the difference. Difference means subtraction, so we're going to take that 1,200 minus 800, and that'll give us 400. So there's a difference of $400. So we're going to write, therefore, the laptop depreciated $400, period. That's how much it depreciated. Now, why do you think phones lose value over time? So this idea, it's not just about the phones, it's about all of those other things that depreciate as well. They had a commonality with them. And when you think about a phone, we use it every day, right? And some of us might not take good care of it. Some of us will take good care of it, but we are using it every day. So that use, that wear and tear is why it goes down in value as we use it, as time goes on. A car, you put miles on it. And as the miles go higher, the risk of something being wrong with the car might go up and it might need repairs. So that's why cars lose their value. They get used, but they also get worn. And that's why the value goes down. So here, why do you think phones lose their value? We can write maybe the battery. Battery, and maybe the performance will go down. And now we can also just make a note about wear and tear, right? Something like Apple. Apple is constantly coming up with new software. And if you have a really old phone, some of those old phones won't be compatible with the new software. So stuff like that makes value go down. So software support ends. And on the same topic as Apple, they constantly are coming up with new iPhones, new models. So if they have a new iPhone today, but you have the iPhone from 2 years ago, that iPhone that you have isn't worth as much today. So we're going to write new models. Now, this can also apply to the idea like cars, right? They're always making new cars, always making new models. So if there's a new one today, that's going to be higher in value than the one that maybe you have from a few years ago. And that's why all of these things lose value or depreciate. On the flip of that, when we think about appreciation, why something will hold value over time, just to play the other side of it, I'm thinking about that card example. If someone has a super rare card from a long time ago, that's considered special. It's considered, collector's item. It has all these different titles, and that gives it value. That's why it would appreciate. People will pay maybe a lot of money if that's their passion, if that's their interest. And that's why people will hold on to things like that because it'll go up in value if it's taken care of. It won't lose value because it's not like it's being used every single day. It's just something that's collected and taken care of. So that is our lesson on appreciation and depreciation. There's a matching student worksheet, and I will see you next lesson.